Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the Confused to Focus Talks with Lekeisha. I am Lekeisha, and I'm so excited to be before you today. Family, we have a great episode. I'm so excited about it, and we're going to have a great conversation. We're going to be talking about setting boundaries for ourselves for the year of 2024. Really going deep dive in how to really proceed with it and make sure it sticks. So you already know what we're about. We're all about diving into the journey of feeling stuck and for you to become unstuck. And that's what we do on this amazing podcast, family. You already know. Make sure you share this conversation and make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and definitely make sure you connect with it. Take your pens and papers and definitely get ready for it. We're going to have an amazing conversation on setting boundaries with the amazing, the incomparable Dr. Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. I'm proud of you. It's going to be a great conversation. This is a friend of mine, definitely from my hometown, Detroit, Michigan. What up, though? And we're going to have a great conversation on how to prevail and definitely for us to unlock these issues when it comes to our life. We want to make sure to set definitely boundaries that stick. We definitely make sure that we feature ourselves to make sure this year is going to be our year, family. Definitely tune in. I promise you it's going to be a great conversation. Let's go. Greetings. How are you today?
What up, doe? That is the Detroit slang from Detroit from years ago, but it became more modern with the BMF series and the Power series. They be saying "What up, doe" out of Detroit, so we brought it back saying "What up, doe? How you doing, Dr. Lekeisha Mosley?"
Yes. Thank you. I'm feeling so good. Honestly, this has truly been an amazing experience on the Confused to Focus Talks with Lekeisha. And honestly, it's just even better just having you with me, my friend. It's really been impactful this year so far. And we're ready to have this conversation. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm very grateful to be alive every day that I wake up. I thank God for giving me a new opportunity to go out here and, as I call it, educate ignorance and do my part to help change the world. So I'm doing fantastic. That's for sure.
Yes. This is truly amazing. So if you can do us a favor, introduce yourself to the amazing audience and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Oh, wow. That's kind of difficult to do, I think, but let me do my best. Dr. Anthony D. Shannon, senior. I do have a junior. Matter of fact, I got 3 children, but is a dynamic and multifaceted leader whose life mission, I guess, intertwines with spiritual guidance, entrepreneurial insight, and transformative leadership training. As a devoted pastor, senior pastor of the Victory Church International, also a certified master prophet. I've been in the prophetic for over 25 years. Dr. Shannon, I guess I would call myself that. I would say embodies the essence of spiritual wisdom, offering deep prophetic insights that inspire and uplift people and followers from a transformable perspective. My role as a businessman showcased the acumen in navigating the complexities of the corporate world, blending ethical integrity, diversity, and strategic brilliance to drive success and innovation. But as a loving father and husband, I exemplify the virtues of commitment, love, resilience, quality that seamlessly bring families together, how to keep them together, and walk through the different transitions of your children as they go from adolescence to adulthood. And then, of course, teaching them and, of course, leadership principles as well. And then, of course, focusing on empowering leaders all across the country and different various sectors. And, of course, blend the spiritual depth and practical, pragmatic leadership strategies. That's who I think I would be, whether I'm addressing a congregation or leading a business meeting or mentoring leaders. My message is clear. A life without purpose is like living life not at all. So leadership is about serving, inspiring, and transforming lives. My approach is not just about creating leaders. It's about nurturing individuals who lead with integrity, vision, and a deep sense of purpose. And so I commend and the best out of people, push people to the best, because we really want leaders who will stand firm in their callings versus just leading leaders. And so we have leaderslivegenerouslyacademy.com where people can connect and join up with us and begin their journey into leadership. And I'm complete.
I love it. I love it.
How you like that?
Listen, that is remarkable. That is absolutely amazing. I feel that your years have literally just really just captivated this, amazing journey of what you have just told it to all of us. Like literally, you just really are the one that are able to answer the questions when it comes to setting boundaries and when it comes to being everything that we need to be in the world. I feel that you've been through a journey of loving what you like, what you're doing right now, honestly. And I feel that doing what you're doing has really brung a place in your life where you can continue to evolve in what you're doing and what you love to do, if that makes sense. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to teach others, how to really locate their purpose, because if people can locate their purpose, then they can begin to live life. And when you're in your purpose, it's like not working at all. Even though you're working and you're making impact, it's like you're not working because you're in the purpose. Whether you get paid for it or not, you still enjoy it. That's why I believe every person born on the earth is born for a purpose, and they must find their purpose so they can live.
Yes, you're right. You're right about that, about finding your purpose. You have to begin that journey, and you have to push go, but you have to be the one to do it. And I feel
Yes.
that, we're really going to be able to have that impact on this show today, just talking about this topic of setting boundaries. I really want you to answer this first question for us when it comes to, just what you just said. So here it is. What are some practical strategies for protecting ourselves from repeated hurt and betrayal? Because I think that's what happens while we can't move forward.
Well, let me say it this way, Lekeisha, and what people got to understand is that you can't change the environment. The environment will change you before you change the environment. So you got to get out of the environment. It's a biblical principle, it's a business principle, and that's what we call boundaries. Because in the environment is going to change you. If you're in a negative environment, constantly hearing negative. I'll give you an example. Years ago in Florence, Arizona, I worked in the prison, the Florence prison there. And every day I went to work. And every day, I worked in an open yard. I worked in, Supermax. I worked in criminally insane, where they put those are the high level maximum unit. And then, of course, I worked in shock incarceration. When I worked in the criminally insane max unit, every day it was negative. My head would hurt because of the negativity that took place in that place. And so much so that people just get numb, right? They get numb. They don't care. It's called emotional fatigue. And so I knew that I had to get out of that environment so that I can really impact the guys, because I couldn't impact them in the environment. So I had to step out of the environment in order to help them, because setting limits on negative thought patterns and beliefs is critical just for maintaining mental health and fostering a positive mindset. I'm not talking about mind over matter here, right? We're talking spirit over the mind. But guess what? Even mind over, if someone could just understand and learn how to do mind over matter by dealing with positive affirmations or positive environments, that would help them. No question about it. It's been proven. And so people need to understand that they have to keep their mental health covered. If I was to use a scripture, it would be this. He says, protect your heart or guard your heart, for out of it are the issues of life. That's where it all starts. So you have to protect that so that you can stay cognitive, keep your mind sharp, and keep yourself in mental health.
That is amazing. I'm so glad that you said that, because it's important for us to be able to grab a hold of that in order for us to actually be able to receive clarity to change. And, just by doing exactly what you said is really going to be a, bridge for us to continue to move forward in that. So this
And
is really
something
amazing.
else that I want to say about that too is that if you're going to be mindful and to keep your, as I say, get out of the environment, you got to be mindful of the environment. So what I tell people to do is this: you have an imagination, right? The imagination is so powerful. So what I've trained leaders to do, and I continue to train leaders to do and people to do, is to go on what I call the canvas of their imagination, okay? And begin to draw out a picture of what it is they want. Now, in other terminology, we would call that, even in Midwestern, meditation. Meditation is nothing but painting a picture of what I want my future to look like and be like, but I see myself in it, walk myself through it, and I even feel it and sense it. That's meditation. Practicing meditation helps you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings without becoming entangled in them. When you get entangled in them, that's where the drama comes. All right. That's where we call it passive aggressive. That's where that comes. But if you walk this practice and be mindfulness of it, then the awareness can enable you to recognize negative patterns and gently redirect your focus to more positive or natural thoughts. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Yes, that was amazing. Definitely we're resonating with this. And Eric, he just said, amen, because he understands just definitely that's what we have to really begin to do that in order for us to strategically, get tongue tag, to be able to actually have a roadmap in order for us to actually create change. This
Yes,
is so
indeed.
amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No
this is
doubt about
amazing.
that.
We got another question for you. This is great. All right. How can setting boundaries on forgiveness help us maintain our emotional well being and promote healing?
Wow. Let me say the thing about forgiveness. And there's a ton of people out here who really need to forgive, learn how to forgive, because forgiveness frees us and forgiveness allows us to go forward. There are people who got married, got divorced, and they have unforgiveness. One party moved on, remarried, the other one have not. They're bitter, they're upset. Now they won't let them see their kids, all because of unforgiveness. That unforgiveness is not helping them, it's hurting them. So when we talk about having forgiveness, again, we're talking about boundaries, right? We're talking about having the ability to forgive somebody. Now, let me say this about forgiveness, all right, which I tell people. Forgiveness can be done just like that. I forgive you. I'm sorry. Okay, I accept your apology. I forgive you. Done just like that. However, watch this now. Once the trust has been broken, even though I forgive you, you now got to rebuild that trust back up. So even though I forgive you, I don't trust you. So I can forgive you like that, but I don't trust you. So you're going to have to rebuild that trust. And watch this. How you build it is up to me because you broke it with me. So I set the criteria for how you are to move and roll if you're going to get back into my graces. If you don't want it, then guess what? It's broken. Even though I forgave you, I'm not bitter. I have no issue with you, but don't think you coming in my house, even though I know you broke in my house, stole from me, you coming back in there tomorrow. I'm sorry, brother. And that don't mean I'm bitter. That don't mean I got an issue with you. That just means I forgive you. I got no gripes to grind, but you ain't coming back in my house. You have to walk this out as a proof text that you really want to do it. That's why when people say a woman who had adultery in her situation and she said, I'm going to stick with him, right? If she doesn't give him the criteria to meet it, then it's always, well, you don't want cheated on me. You don't want to cheat. Oh, no. Just give the criteria. Let them walk the criteria. And then you forgave them. Now let's see if you can trust them again. If not, then you already know what you need to do.
That is so real. I love that because we need to follow that roadmap if we really want to bend, in relationships, because, a lot of times it's really hard to even go there, it's, to make people understand that, the conversation is different. The communication is
Yes.
different, right?
Yes, absolutely. No question about it. Somebody rape your daughter. You want to hurt them. You want to go off on them. All right. But you got to learn to forgive them. No problem. But brother, you ain't coming around my children. Believe that. There is boundaries set. You cannot reach out. That's just the way it is. All right. And we need to understand that. And listen, even the Bible bears us out on this. Nowhere in the Bible does it say to us to be subservient where somebody can just dog us, beat us, treat us like nothing, and we're supposed to just take it. Even when he says, love your enemy, all right? Love your enemy. Let me tell you something. I can love my enemy from California, Doc. That boy is an enemy to me. I don't have no gripes to grind, but he ain't coming in my house. That don't mean that I got a problem with him. It just means I'm loving you, Doc, because real love, you can't come up in here because I don't know what I might do with you. Come on.
That is so real. Eric said real talk.
I know they may not like me. Like, what is a preacher doing talking like this? I'm just keeping it real, baby.
That's right. We have to keep it real, though, because honestly, I know that is the problem, honestly, to even really rebuild respectfully and positively, because we're not being honest, not really being honest. And that's a problem. Honestly, you have to, in order for you to be able to get there. Sometimes people want it overnight, and no, it's a process. You never know, how long it'll take.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. It's a process, and I think people don't really want to walk through a process. They even young people today, my son, oh, Dad, I'm just going to skip through this and do that. I'm like, even if you did, son, you won't appreciate it at the value you should. But when you walk through the process of it and you walk through the steps, dude, you will appreciate it. You will value it. I promise you that. We call that promoting self-respect, right? When you setting and enforcing boundaries to help communicate to yourself and to others that your needs, your feelings, your well-being is important. And if they cannot abide by that, then you already know they're not the ones to be in your circle, right? Because this act of self-respect reinforces your self-worth. And you got to know you're worth something. You got to know you're valuable. And you got to know that in order for me to overcome self-doubt, I got to know who I am. And I got to know whose I am. And I'm worth all that. Believe me.
That is so true. I'm so glad that you said that. But they need to hear this. Listen, Prophet Anthony D. Shannon, listen, you're on it. You're on it. We're going to keep it going, though. We have so many other questions here for you. I'm telling you, we're getting the answers. We call them 24 karat gold bars, right?
Hey, I'm telling
That's
you,
being dropped in this room today. I love it. We're going to keep it going. The next question. All right. What role does boundaries play in overcoming self-doubt and building self-confidence?
You know what I found out when we deal with relationships, right? Relationships. You're building relationships. I don't care if it's your children, it's a relationship. If it's your mom and daddy, those are relationships. If it's your brother, sister, relationships. If it's your husband, wife, girlfriend, those are all relationships. And we all need to learn how to handle relationships. In relationships, there is disagreements. There is all kind of situations that go on. So guess what happens? Sometimes we get resentments, we have regrets, we have unforgiveness. And so you have to reduce the resentment. When you clearly communicate your limits, whatever that may be. I told my children years ago, my sons, they would wrestle, right? And they be having fun. You know how it starts off fun, but then you can hear when it turned. And I said, here's the word I want to give everybody. It's called stop. I said, when you hear that word stop, you don't keep going beyond it. There's a reason why there's red for the stop sign. It's stop. And when you hear stop, that means stop. I don't care if it's me. If I hear it, it's stop. Because I know now we have went to the limit. And that if I cross over the limit, now that's when I get into other issues in the relationship. So I've taught them how to, on that stop word, it's a stop. My wife, when you hear me say stop, that's it. Please don't cross over, because it will help me reduce the resentment. It'll help me reduce what I feel. When people say I'm feeling some kind of way, okay, we need to talk about it. We need to communicate that. Are y'all listening to me? Because if you don't, then you communicate your limits where people begin to disrespect you. And when people disrespect you, look, I'm from Detroit. Todd, you you better know how to box. You better know how to fight, because we ain't having no disrespect. We're going to have a talk. If talking ain't working, we go on to blows. You understand? Well, we don't want to go that in family, loving, friendships, relationships that matter, right? Then that means I want to be able to say what I need to say and not lose the affinity. I still want to have the affinity with you. So if I can reduce the resentment by communication, right? This positive interaction, all right, can reduce feelings of inadequacy and boost my confidence in handling the relationship. I'll be able to say, yeah, I know I can have a serious conversation with Lekeisha, because me and her, we real like that. She gonna be able to tell me how she feel. I'm gonna tell her how I feel. But at the end of the day, we walking away, still love each other. We still cool. We gone. You understand? That now creates a positive environment, right? Which now boundaries are already set. You see what I'm saying? I let people know, listen, don't cross that line with me. All right. And I'll let them know flat out, okay, stop. I think you're crossing the line. All right. You might want to rethink that. All right. Because what I share, Lekeisha, is this. Every relationship is valuable. Every person is valuable to God. However, every valuable relationship out here may not be valuable to me. You understand? And if they're going to be in my circle, they have to be valuable to me. Then there's people who move closer that become even tighter with you. Those relationships is what I call grace relationships. These are the relationships God sent you. These are the ones God said they're going to be your ride and die, right? And if you cannot replace them in 24 to 48 hours, you need to really value that relationship and do whatever you need to do with whatever boundary you need to set to make sure it's honored and respected. That's creating a positive environment. Promise you that.
Yes. Woo! Woo! That's real. I'm telling you.
I hope this is all right. I hope it's all right. I hope I ain't messing up.
This is amazing. Listen,
Okay.
I need you to be real. You already know how I roll. I need you to be real 100, because we need this. Listen, Prophet Anthony D. Shannon, listen, we need this, because sometimes people are not real and are not able to be transparent, to break it down to how we can actually connect with each other, because we're just going through the motions. Just giving you something, pacifying you, saying something, that you want to hear. That ain't helping. I need to tell you the real deal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you say that, keeping it real, that remind me of my children. We were going through this and showing about the different boundaries and different things of honor, respect. I respect them and honor them. I tell them, this is my house, it's my room, I let you stay in. But even though it's my house, it's my room, I let you stay in, I'm gonna knock on the door. Now, if you don't answer the door after 4 knocks, I'm coming in. Please understand that. But I'm knocking on the door to give you the respect that you need. So I'm encouraging autonomy, right? Boundaries encourage autonomy, right? By allowing you to make choices, right? Based on your needs, your interests, rather than being overly influenced by others. Okay, I could just dominate. I don't want to dominate. I want to give you the autonomy, right? Is the key to developing, I think, a strong sense of self, which is critical for overcoming self-doubt. And so they understood, here's the rules, here's how we roll it. If I did something, said something, offend you, whatever the case may be, let's talk about it on Friday night. Friday nights, that's the night I bring all my kids, everybody together, and we would have this, how did everything go? What's up? Did I offend you? I'm okay. And then after they say that, I always tell them, now give me 3 positive things you know about me, and I'm going to give you 3 about you. Because we're not leaving here on a negative. It's always got to be on a positive. I want to train your eyes to deal with the positive, because I know it's automatic. You're going to find a negative. Dad, you ain't did this. Dad, I get it. I understand because you ain't a father yet. You ain't got no bills yet. I get it. But in the meantime, we're gonna keep that autonomy. All right.
I love it. We have to keep it clear, set the place, and it's set it respectfully, and
Yes.
positively, and they will come back and give you positive reinforcements after you do those things. So I appreciate that. In other words, they're not harsh. They're not mad at you because you just left them out with a no and with something that was a problem. No, you said, hey, I'm giving you something that's going to enrich your soul, and I love you so much. Let's talk about this on Friday.
Absolutely.
So I love that.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. We gonna keep it going. Oh my goodness, this is so amazing. I'm loving this. We got another question, of course. All right. What techniques can you use to set limits on negative thoughts and patterns and beliefs?
Well, first of all, we have what we call these cognitive behavior therapies, which is CBTs, and they're well researched form of, I think, a psychotherapy that helps individuals identify and challenge negative thought patterns and beliefs. Believe it or not, because of how I grew up, I'm working on something now called Dead on Arrival, right? Telling my story of how when I was born, I was dead on arrival, right? But then once my twin came out who was deceased, then my heartbeat came back to life, and I'm still here today. But nonetheless, because of it, the oxygen didn't get into my brain. So of course I had to deal with what you call learning disorders, speech impediment, all of those different things that happened that I had to overcome because of it. So many times, because I was bullied or people was making fun of me, that in my head, I went to these, what I call melancholy modes, which later I found how to handle them, which is nothing but negative thought patterns, right? They're negative thought patterns that move down to your subconscious and then formulate into your super subconscious. When it moves into that, that's when all the negative thoughts come. That's when you begin to believe it internally, deep down. But because consciously and cognitively, you're not aware that's happening unless someone is helping you or guiding you through it. And so what we tell people to do, I've even done it for myself, journal, men journal, just like women journal, journaling your thoughts, how you feel, right? Your feelings, listen, they can be therapeutic, right? Writing it down, telling your feelings, getting it out of you is therapeutic. It can also help you identify the negative patterns, right? And you can explore the roots. Okay, how did this come about? Where does it come from? Secondly, of course, we talk about setting boundaries. Learn to set healthy boundaries. Believe it or not, there's a book called Setting Boundaries, even for husband and wife, because sometimes, I look at some of these shows, I look at some of the things, I took his phone, I did this. Well, listen, if you got to have a relationship, that you got to follow the girl around all the time, check her phone all the time, look up all her stuff, you don't need that relationship. That's toxic, okay? Because I need to have trust, I need to have honor, I need to know there's boundaries set that just not going to be crossed, okay, period. And this includes saying no. You need to have a strong no, all right, to any type of additional responsibilities. When you're overwhelmed and distancing yourself from individuals who contribute to your negative thought patterns. Oh, you're going to do that again? Oh, come on, man, let's just go do this. No, I don't want to do that. I'm sorry. I need time. I need space. Let me start journaling. And here's the other part of a technique that I've learned. It's called gratitude. Gratitude, right? In other words, regularly reflecting on things you are grateful for. Grateful for, right? So that you can shift your focus from negative to positive. When you can shift your negative to positive, this can include simple, right? Daily practices like listing 3 things, like I told you what I did with my children, right? I would always do that to them. Now, here's what's amazing to me. My oldest son, who's married now, I don't care what go down, I don't care what happens, every time before he hang up that phone, you know what he say? I love you. I appreciate you. And I think it's because of those practices. I promise you. I'm shocked. I'm telling you. You could be in a, like, have a little, you tell him something, you're going to feel strong. He telling you something, he feels strong. And then you keep the affinity, you hug, he said, hold on. But I love you. I said, boy, you better go on with your bad self. That's helping him with the gratitude, right? And then, of course, positive affirmations. People need reinforcements for themselves, right? You got to repeat things for yourselves. Of affirmations help you slowly change your super subconscious to now meet the conscious, and now you can birth everything you really wanting to birth. The problem with most people, they never conquer it, never overcome, because whatever you conceal can never be healed. You have to confront in order to conquer. But once you can confront it, you can conquer it. And this is one of the ways you can conquer it. Amen.
Wow, that was amazing. When I tell you, just bringing that up is so important, to tie that all into gratitude and loving yourself. And for your son to do what he did, you say, I love you, right? I mean, that was a pattern, positive pattern that happened, right? And that's
Absolutely.
just really amazing. Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
That's really amazing.
Because
wow.
I'm amazed, Lekeisha, that I have grown children. They're all smart. They're all gifted. One of them is married. One's about to graduate with her master's degree. The other one's in school. But they all want to come work with me in my business and ministry. It blows me away. I don't force them. I don't pound them. They all want to do it to enhance it. And it just touches me every week. I tell you, I go, wow, I'm a blessed man. And I get to hang out with y'all every week. Wow. And y'all want to be here. Shut the noise.
Yes. I mean, that is so amazing. When I tell you, when you have that, you have a grin from ear to ear. I mean, that's legacy right there. That is like positive legacy. And just the fact that they want to be close to you and connect to you and work with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing.
I love it.
I know a young lady who we've been praying her through and walking her through. She's a single mother. She put everything she could into her son, but he won't even speak to her. He won't even deal with her. And she's done nothing. So, I mean, just heartbroken. But we've been walking her through it, what to do, how to do it, so that, she can do what she needs to do, at the same time having the positive out there that he is going to come back. There's no way. He's going to come back. And when he does, you'll know how to embrace him when he does. Instead of all the negative, all this, all that. No, you'll know how to embrace him correctly.
Wow, that is meaningful. I mean, I'm on that. I'm just really I have, already know my boys, they're getting older. The fact that they're in college, and the fact they want to come home to spend time with me, and they don't have to.
Right. Come on now.
I'm telling you.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Isn't that amazing? Mm-hmm. I'm just so thankful.
Because everybody don't have that. They really don't.
Yes.
They don't.
Yes.
So I know to be grateful for it. That's for sure.
Wow. I'm thankful. We're going to keep it going. We got another question for you. This is amazing. Wow. This is amazing. How can setting boundaries with our own thoughts and perceptions foster a more positive and growth-oriented mindset?
Yeah, we've been talking and discussing this all day. And one of the things that I want to tell us is that how can it help us with the growth? Number one, it enhances our decision making. Setting boundaries requires you to understand and then articulate your values, your priorities, and your limits, right? I mean, there's no question about it. You know what most women want from the man? They want conversation. They want to understand. They want decisiveness. They don't you don't know what you want. You say you want me, then you don't want me. You're over there with Carol. You're over there with Sue. Then you're over there with me. Boy, you don't know what you want. No, let's get clear here. It's you that I want. It's you that I want to build this with. It's you that I want to make the millions with, if you can rock with me. So having boundaries requires you to understand then and articulate those values, priorities. And you know what he also is amazing? In the beginning, if we look at it from a spiritual biblical perspective, the Bible says that God made man in his image, in his likeness, and gave them dominion. Then the Bible says he noticed that there was no helpmeet for the man. So he creates this helpmeet pulling out of the man, brings the woman, the man. Man, look, identifies with very clear articulation. This is my wife, bone of my bone. Come on, somebody. And God said, yes, sir, you are making the best decision to help you do it, because two is always better than one. This is why even on the news, they have two anchors, male, female, two men, women, but it's always two, no matter what, right? Jesus sent them out 2 by 2. When you have start a company, they want to know, are you the president, vice president? See, always got to be in twos. That's the way it is. Why? Because this process enhances our decision-making skills. As we become more adept at making choices that align with our personal well-being, right? We further build our self-confidence. I don't listen, you and the drugs, I ain't got, listen, that's you. I got some cousins, that's all they do, all right? When I come around, you know what they say? Oh, here he come. I said, you better believe it, man. I'm coming. And they go, yeah, when I grow up, I'm going to be like you. You know what I say to them? That's a good goal to have. Clean your body up. Get this stuff out of your system so you can live longer, okay? That's a good goal for you to have. But in the meantime, and in between time, don't expect me to come down to that level. Now, let me make it clear to you, bros. I'm not better than you. Believe that. I'm not. We grew up in the same place, but guess what? I'm better off than you because I know how to make good decisions, decision-making stuff that taken me to my destiny versus my grave early. Come on, somebody.
I'm loving it. I love that. This is what I'm talking about, speaking into our family and connections. Like, listen, I'm always with you, but I ain't coming down there where you at.
Hello.
But I'm going to need you to bring yourself up higher. Come on now.
Now, you know what they say? The best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them. So the best thing you do for drug addicts, don't be one of them.
Yes, it's true. Oh my goodness.
True. Big time true. You know what I mean? Plus, we foster emotional stability. Right? When we set these boundaries that help us make good decisions, Lekeisha, we're less likely to be overextending ourselves. When you don't have stability, well, I got to run over here. I got to run over here. I got to do this. I got to do that. Well, that's because you don't have a schedule. Now, if you had a schedule, you could say, no, I can't do it on that day. I'm sorry. Because an emergency on your part does not necessitate for me to have an emergency. Just because you got one does not mean I got one too. All right. Now, if you are my close circle, your emergency is my emergency. Okay. But let's be very clear. But if my schedule does not permit on any regular, brother, I got to put you on the schedule. Oh, so you all that, you better believe it. If that's how you want to perceive it, I didn't say it. It came out of your mouth. Amen. I'm telling you what I need to do if me and you going to connect, because I have to keep fostering my emotional stability, right? And the balance leads to that stability, reducing stress, feelings of stress, anxiety. No, you ain't getting me there. First thing I tell people, calm down. It ain't as bad as you think it is. All right. And if someone has passed away, listen, my condolences, but let's calm this down here. Okay. We need to get all this down so we can get in control. We don't need emotion without intellect. Elect has to control the emotion, or you'll go off. You'll tear up stuff, break windows, shoot people. Oh no, calm it down. Okay? We need to foster emotional stability.
Yes. Woo! I'm telling you, dropping 24 karat gold bars. Let's go.
24, brother.
Come on, come on. I love it.
Trying
I
to help you.
love it.
I come to help somebody, anybody,
Yes, to be somebody.
to be somebody.
Come on now.
Amen. Come on now.
We ready. Next
Yes,
question.
indeed.
Woo, we ready. All right. What are some practical steps for creating a digital detox routine?
Wow, detox is just what it is. You have to detox stuff. And sometime in detoxing, you gotta get off that phone. Sometimes you have to retreat. People, you don't have to go on TMZ and let them know I'm retreating. No, just retreat because you have to detox. And I think people, even the scriptures tell us that we need a day. We need a day of nothing but self-reflecting, self-building, replenishing, right? Getting a massage, right? That's good for you. Men now get their feet done, nails. That's good, right? Because it helps. All of that stuff helps. I'm telling you, women, they picked it up quicker. They picked it up better. And they moved on it much faster than men. And that's why they live longer. But men now are picking that up too, because they understand that is what is needed. And we have to recognize that if we can put these practices in place, then guess what? We're going to be positive. We're going to be strong. We're going to have mental balance and stability. We're going to be able to communicate with realness without losing affinity. We don't have to worry about anger and drama. Most of the people, when I worked in the prison system in Florence prison there, I don't know how many men were African American, but I could tell you this, that in that prison, there was over 6,000 prisoners. And I could tell you at least 4,000 was black. I can tell you that. So that's somebody's father, somebody's brother, somebody's somebody. You understand? That is not there. They're locked. And that was just in Florence prison. I don't know what it is across the country, but I knew for me, I had to get out here to be able to help them, support them in another environment other than that negative toxicity environment. And that's what we do. So here in Detroit, we go to a prison. We talk to different prisoners. Matter of fact, I work with the Wayne County Sheriff Department here, and as a chaplain, right? I go in and I interview them, talk to them, do one-on-ones, debriefs, all of that with them, with some of the stressed out stuff. And some of the guys who we went to talk to that was locked up, that said they couldn't get out, because we came every month, guess what? They're out. And some of them are volunteering with the Wayne County Sheriff Department. I was shocked. I mean, I was totally shocked that we were impacting those guys like that. That's what I tell people to do.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. This is truly amazing. Wow. I'm telling you, we really need those processes, and we can get it, over time, and just, people to watch you, and they'll definitely want to buy into doing that for themselves. I really appreciate that. That was great.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. We're going to next question. Nope. The next question is, there it is. How can we effectively communicate our boundaries to others without fostering guilty and selfishness? Guilt and selfishness.
That's pretty good. How can we effectively communicate and our boundaries, to others without feeling guilty or selfish? Here's how, when I started setting boundaries, I have an auntie. She's deceased now, but she was always crossing boundaries all the time. And when I learned how to do the boundaries, I would let her know that, remember we talked about, you can't do this, you can't do that. You agreed to it. So, there you go again. I said, well, I'm sorry, but is there anything else I can do for you? Or is there any other way I can help you or assist you other than this, right? Other than this, because you have to reinforce the boundary, right? When most people tell a kid, if you do that again, I'm taking away your game, or you do that again, I'm taking away your phone. And then they do it, but you don't take away the phone. You don't take away that. So the boundary means nothing. So it has to come with repercussions, or no one honors or respects it, just like in the law. If they didn't reinforce the law, I mean, we speed all the time, right? But if we never got caught, we wouldn't think about, oh, shoot, I better slow down. I might get a ticket. I want one today. You know what I'm saying? It challenges those thoughts. And so we have to communicate to people, here's what I require. You understand? Like when I was single, I loved on myself. I cared for myself. I took myself out. I would go to places and they would say, how many tonight? I say a table for one. Oh, it's just you. Absolutely. I'm enjoyed tonight. You understand? I would take care of myself. I said, oh, I think I'll have that. So when I met my wife, right, I knew that was my wife because she could accept and give me the same value to me that I give to myself. Now, if you cannot even give me the same value to myself that I give to me, then you're not the one. Okay, we need to set this boundary real quick, and you need to move on. So when you do that, you don't have to feel guilty because you're letting somebody know, here's what I require if you want in my world. You follow me? You 10 minutes late, like me. I listen. I got these different rules for myself. I don't care who it is, president. Listen, you violate that, sir, you're gonna feel that wrath, okay? Because I've already communicated that to you, with you, and I even got grace. Maybe you forgot, maybe you didn't remember. Let me remind you of what we agreed to, okay? Remember we said we were gonna make that? Yeah, that's right. Man, I thought you was just kidding. No, I wasn't kidding. I was very serious, okay? And then number two, let's limit that negative self-talk. Because if you limit the negative self-talk, you don't have to be selfish. Selfishness is narcissism, which is all about me, only about me, but it's not about me. If I want family, friends, relationships, then I'm trying to relate. See, relate is relationships. Can we relate? And can we get into unity in our relation? All right. You don't like to smoke. I smoke. I don't know if I can hang with that. Okay, now I won't smoke. Okay, great. You understand? That's how we set boundaries, respect the boundaries, honor the boundaries. Amen. My sons, they wear earrings. I said, look, son, I don't care if you wear an earring. All I'm asking you to do, just don't wear all them hoops and dangly things. I ain't into that. Now, if you into that, cool. But when you around my presence, I'm asking you, don't wear the dangly. Okay, put you a diamond, whatever you got to do. I ain't trying to reach. I'm just asking you for me, bro. All right, I'm a true man to the homeboy all the way. Okay, but if that's you, do you? But in my presence, I'm just asking you to respect me, man. Don't cuss in my presence, please. That's all I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? That's the boundary I set. I ain't trying to be selfish, narcissistic. I'm trying to have cohesive, synergistic relationships. Period.
I love that. You're making it very clear. It's just speaking exactly what you're deciding that you want. And others will listen to it. They may not like it, but they will respect it. I truly appreciate that.
Yeah, and I encourage realistic appraisals. That's what I want to call it. Encourage realistic appraisal. What do you mean by that? What I mean by that is realistic assessments of situations, right? And exaggerated perceptions. Because some people think you don't like them, think you don't want them, think you're trying to judge them. No, it has nothing to do with that. So let me give clarity that enables you to approach what you may think as a challenge or a setback. But if you look at it, it'll be the balance you need to focusing on being in my world, if that's something you say you want it to be. Amen. I've had a guy, he was calling me. I met him. He's a pastor. He was calling me, and I didn't have time to return his call. But I had him on my schedule because I have a schedule. I'll return his call, okay? But he didn't like the fact, I guess I took too long. And I said to him, I said, what is it you want, sir? Man, I'm trying to be your friend. I really am. I said, well, sir, you're kind of urgent on it. And I had you on my schedule to call you back. I said, but if you can't, wait for that, then it's fine because, I'm just meeting you. I said, and to be honest with you, I'm going to be real clear. I got a lot of friends and I have a hard time keeping up with them. Now, if you can't wait, then I'll tell you straight out, I may not be the friend you need right now. All right. So I think God can give you another one that'll best suit your needs, man. And he said, okay, and moved on. I'd rather be that honest and straight. You know what I mean? And people come up with their own self-perceptions of pessimistic, exaggerated, he this, he that. No, bro, let's get clarity here. Let's set the boundaries and talk real talk. Okay?
Absolutely. That's real talk. Absolutely. I truly appreciate that. That's being transparent with a nice smile. And you're going to either like it or you're not going to like it, but it's real talk. You're going to respect it. It's all about respect all day long.
All day long. Let's not play games. Even in The Godfather, the original Godfather, when it opens up, his friend is sitting there because he got shot up. He did something to his daughter. And he goes in there and he goes, hold on a minute. He brings him up close and he says, hold on, my friend. He said, when I look after you, I took this, I did that, and you did not come to me. You didn't even want nothing of me. Now that your daughter's hurt, now you expect me to jump? Oh, come on, my friend. No, I can't do it. I love it. The Godfather, real. He let him know, you played me, and now you want me to jump for you. Come on, now that's unrealistic expectations. We ain't having it. I'm sorry.
As you can see, Eric, he already said it. He said, be real from the jump, and there will be no unrealistic expectations.
All right, Eric, that's what I'm talking about. Eric know what's up. Eric is real, Doc. He done been through it, amen. When you've been through it like I've been through it, you really don't have time to play.
Absolutely.
Our life is short. We're only here for a moment, and that's the truth, whether we believe it or not. And you really don't have time to play games. And once you realize that, then you just be real with folks. And me, personally, I prefer if they just be real. I really do. You know what I'm saying? And when I was in industry, I was a district vice president. I used to train managers all across the country. And I remember setting up, what my expectations was for them as a manager and what they can expect from me, right? I said, here's the 12 things you can expect from me. Here's the 12 things I expect from you. And many times they didn't really believe it or push it. And when I walk in there, I would always pull that sheet out. Remember this? Here's your signature right here. I said, now look, maybe let me apologize if I was not clear or if it was not clear enough. All right. Here's your grace period starts right now. You blow it again, there's no more grace period. Here's what's going to happen. And I need you to sign it right here. They knew.
I love it.
I always gave people grace, though. I always gave them grace. Like, okay, here's your grace period. All right, because I would want somebody to give me grace. But after you give me grace, you blow it again, you're done. You're done. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a movie out, Lekeisha, about, I can't think of it. I think it's Aaron Rodgers. If it's not Aaron Rodgers, it's another football player, and I can't think of his name, but he wanted to be in the football so bad in the professional. They recruited him to be a professional quarterback. And in practice, the guy said, get ready because, they're going to call you. And he was over there doubting himself and he and Han, they called him, right? I think it was Aaron Rodgers, but they called him. Let's just say for this sake, hypothetical was Aaron Rodgers. So they say, Aaron, get in. Now he's at pro camp. He hesitated. The coach looked at him. He wouldn't move. He called another guy, get in there. So the guy gets in there, he working. And when practice was over, The coach called him into the office and said, "You're done." He said, "What are you talking about? I just signed my contract." He said, "It's done. It's over. I called you. You didn't move. You don't want to be here." He said, "You see all them people over there? I got tons of people who want to be here." And he fired him. It took him 3 to 5 more years to get back into the NFL. That's straight up. You got to be ready. You got to be ready to go.
You have to be ready.
People
That's
ain't got
what you
time to
have to
play.
do.
That's right.
Wow. 24 karat gold bars, family, being dropped in the Confused to Focus Talks with Lekeisha right now. Definitely giving you some encouragement for you to keep it going and definitely be able to have integrity moving forward. I'm loving it. Wow. We're going to keep it going. We have another question for you, of course. What are some tips for setting clear expectations with friends and family and colleagues?
Well, what can I say? Hey, as we've been really talking and sharing today, I really want people to get that you have to practice these techniques. You got to practice this stuff. I teach these men that I'm a mentor. We call them the Mod Squad, right? Men of destiny, sitting on 4 pillars, right? Wisdom, courage, chivalry, and faithfulness, right? Those 4. And they have to practice it if they're going to have the mindfulness mindset of developing boundaries. That's why I teach them chivalry. I said, listen, chivalry is not just for women. Yeah, you need to know how to treat a woman. You need to know how to open a door. But chivalry is also for men. There's certain men, dude, you don't get in a space. You don't be challenging them. Dude, is you crazy? You understand? You got to learn how to have these boundaries of honor and respect. You come this close to my face. You either want something, what you trying to do? Kiss me? What's up? Give me my space. You understand? Practice this stuff. Develop an awareness of your thoughts and feelings without immediate judgment, right? You looking at your daughter, you don't like what she got on, you immediately judge it. No, don't do it, baby. That looks good. What you got on? Talk to me. You understand? Oh, you look good in this color or that color. You ever thought about this? Oh, really, Dad? Let me try it on. But if you immediately judgment, this awareness, is the first step in choosing how to respond to internal dialogue you having with yourself. What I've learned is that just because I'm thinking it, just because I'm seeing it, doesn't mean everybody else is seeing it and feeling it the same way. And so I have to challenge myself cognitively for the distortions. I hope that makes sense. In other words, I got to learn to identify and challenge unhelpful patterns in my thinking, right? Get a relationship in your head. Oh, they're going to treat me like so-and-so treated me. Oh, there they go. They already disliking me. No, that's all in your head. It's not in their head. You got to talk this out. You got to share. I'm big on communication. I found that to be true. I don't care who it is, your children, your wife, your leaders, your business partners. Oh, you got to have conversations. You got to have meetings. You got to talk about it. Because I tell people this, communication is with the intent to agree. The purpose of me communicating is when we get up and walk away, we agree. Even if it's agreed to disagree, we agree. Dude, we can't work together. Well, at least we came to an agreement. You understand? But if there's no communication, I have no closure. And many people want closure in relationships. Well, why did he just walk away? Why wasn't he here? Mom, did he not like me? Was it my fault? Just give me some closure. You understand? In communication. That's where I tell people, let's challenge your cognitive distortions. All right? All that's in your head. Let's get it on the table. And let's begin to seek feedback. Right? How can I help you? What can I do to make you happy? Is there anything you need today? Yeah, I really was wanting to go get some ice, but I didn't feel like going. I didn't want to go by myself. I didn't really want to ask you because you're too busy. I'll go with you. Will? Yeah. You understand? Build the relationships. Sometimes those external perspectives can help identify areas where we might be too hard on ourselves, right? Or holding on to what I call limiting belief systems. They get into your subconscious, superconscious. Something happened when you was 8, 5, 10, and you said to yourself, that'll never happen to me again. Another woman is never going to do that. Never, whatever. That's in your subconscious. And it's going to be there playing out for you in all your relationships. When you want relationships, they have to come with honor, respect, communication, and of course, as I said, the autonomy, right? I need to know that even though I'm married, I'm still Anthony. Even though my wife is married, she's still Glennis. But when we come together, we're the Shannons. Believe that. Amen. We are one force, baby. Because there's some things she like to do I don't like to do. There's things I like to do she don't like to do. Amen. But that has nothing to do with if we're tight or cool or not. You understand? The relationship build on the foundation, the principles, and the roots that go deep that hold you when there's issues, troubles, crisis, and you still can keep the affinity, man. That's what I tell people. So cultivate self-awareness. Start by understanding your own values, your own biases, your own motivations. What's your self-awareness, right? What do you recognize? What triggers you? What's upsetting to you? You know that. What is your personal judgments or prejudices? You know what I mean? We all have them, but the more you know how to deal with them, the better you can handle your feelings and influence the feelings, right, with your intellect versus your emotion. And that's how we keep relationships long term. I got friends right now, 3 of them, since the 7th grade. The 7th grade, we've been through everything. We've seen through everything. I was their best man, or one of them their best man in their wedding. The other one, he was the best man in my wedding. You understand? We've been through all of this. When we was out there before we got saved, now we all saved. We're still cool. Why? Because of all this stuff I'm talking about.
Oh, yes. I'm loving that because we're able to have really positive, strategic conversations going through it all. I'm really able to build. I really appreciate it. This was great. Oh, my goodness. 24 karat gold bars. We have one more question for today. Gosh, this is just truly amazing. I'm going to have to listen to replay of my own podcast episode because this is really amazing.
Wow,
Let's
thank
go.
you. You're humbling me.
You are truly amazing. This is the question. How can open and honest communication about boundaries improve our relationships and overall focus?
Wow. There was a saying. I don't know who said it. I don't know where it came from, but I heard it. You probably heard it before, Miss Lekeisha. And it says that when you love something, let it go. If it comes back to you, it's yours. If it doesn't, you never had it anyway. So if you're going to force somebody to be with you, right, or lie to them or to deceive them, then something on the deep side of them, it's a Greek word called gnosis, right? Science, where we want to know how stuff works and uncover, and they do these science projects. Well, science, that word is a Greek word that comes from gnosis, which means to know. And when something inside of you tell you, I don't know, babe, you saying you love me, it's just something inside, something ain't right. Then you meet your friends, meet them, and they go, I don't know, Lekeisha, something, I can't put my finger on it. You understand? That's that inner knowing. And you gotta be wise to that inner knowing. So open communication is what stops that. It shuts it down. Because if someone's hiding something, the closer you get to them, you begin to feel that thing. I'll never forget my wife. We have 3 children, as I stated, and we lived in a bungalow when we first got married in Detroit. I had put carpet all in there to remodel it, and we were upstairs in that bedroom, and the carpet was thick. I had put all of this thick carpet because I didn't want to hear it crack, or nothing. And the kids was coming up the steps, two of them. And my wife, she hears it. I don't hear it. She goes, you know what? That's Anthony. I said, what are you talking about? Sure enough, around the corner, here comes Anthony. I go, how did you know that? She said, it's an inner thing I got. I carried these kids for 9 months. And I said, well, I ain't got that. Yes, I don't have that. So what I look to is a thing called discernment in relationships. I'm listening for the discernment, the inner ear feelings, the gnoskos, to tell me something ain't right. We need to have an open conversation. We need to have a dialogue. And here's the good thing. When you do, you just may come to the realization that you're not meant for each other. Years ago, I was married. I was engaged to be married when I was in college. I really thought this woman was my wife. I really did. I mean, we moved all the way down to Washington, D.C. She has a place. I had a place. We work and build and all stuff. We put money up for this. And one day, something I just couldn't put my finger on it. And I went to pray about it. And I heard the Lord speak to me saying, that's not your wife. You're about to mess up. If you marry her, everything's not going to be. Now, I really thought this was the one. And when I had this open conversation, it was amazing. She said, I just didn't want to hurt you. I want to move to such and such. I said, I ain't moving on. She said, I knew you wouldn't, but I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't want to hurt you. I said, well, I'll be darned. And when we put it all on the table, you know what I could say to her? Thank you. Appreciate you. And I wish you well. And I hope whatever you're looking for, you're going to get it. Because guess what? I got everything I was looking for because I didn't go down that road. And I'm so happy today. 3 children. Come on, somebody working with me. I'm just happy that I obeyed the open communication.
Wow, wow, wow. This conversation is absolutely amazing. Honestly, this was truly amazing. One last thing that I want to ask you, just with it all, just going through the process of understanding how to set those boundaries on the different levels. You talked about relationships. You talked about also when it comes to, connections with others, business. What is the final jewel, wisdom nugget that you want to provide to the Confused to Focused family when it comes to really setting concrete boundaries for us to up-level and heal?
All right, let me say this very clear, that boundaries. Let me just put this here. Boundaries equal guidelines. Boundaries equal rules. Boundaries equal limits. Here's your limit, right? This is as far as you can go. After that, you've crossed over, okay? That's a boundary, all right? And it helps us to identify reasonable, safe, and permissible ways for other people to behave towards us or with us, and how they will respond when someone steps beyond those limits. That's why boundaries are important. What's the guidelines? I teach it at my church, in my business. What's the rules? I teach it at my house. Listen, you coming in, I don't care how old you are. You are not coming in my house. I don't care if you're 30. You in my house, you coming in before 4 o'clock in. Do you understand that? Well, then you must want to be on your own. You can go out, stay out all night you want to. But there's boundaries set. Now, my kids, they'll say, well, did you do that for so-and-so? Absolutely. There are guidelines. There are rules that must be followed in order to keep you safe, right? Correction is really for your protection. It's not against you. It's for you. Physical boundaries, they're good because then you don't have to worry about getting anything misconstrued. We just don't do that, okay? Here's the rule for that. Emotional boundaries. You understand? You got to have guidelines and rules that are critical and crucial for maintaining your self-identity and your own personal integrity. 1 out of every 4 women have been sexually abused, emotionally abused, physically abused. 1 out of every 4. You don't think people need to know this stuff? Yes, they do. Mama talking about this as uncle. That ain't uncle. That's a guy I met that I'm calling uncle, but I need to be very clear. Here's the set guidelines here. Period. That's what I want to leave us with.
Wow, this was truly amazing. Definitely, we're taking this down. Like I said, this information we truly need for the year 2024, honestly, for us to up level and to definitely break the cycles because, we don't want to keep repeating that,
Mm-mm.
So you gotta literally let us know even more, just more and more how you're doing on these streets out here. Definitely let us know how we can connect with you moving forward because this is not the last time. I really would love for you to come back to the Confused and Focused Talks with Lekeisha family. Let us know how we can connect with you, Prophet Anthony D. Shannon.
Well, of course, we're on all these social media sites, that's for sure. And Anthony D. Shannon on Facebook, Anthony D. Shannon Instagram, and of course in LinkedIn, Anthony D. Shannon. And of course, we have Leaders Live Generously, and of course, the V Church. If anybody's looking for a church that'll teach them about leadership, amen, that's what our job is teach leadership. We're not your normal church that's just going to shout you, but we're a teaching church that teaches you how to live in every area of your life so that you can become that leader for your husband, your wife, your daughter, your kids, or whoever. And we teach you the principles that are transferable. The Victory Church, int.org. Leaders Live Generously Academy, and that is leaderslivegenerouslyacademy.com, all waiting for you. And then, of course, we thank you, Lekeisha Mosley, for having us on your show, your platform, that you thought enough of us that we had something to say that would encourage somebody. And we don't take it lightly. We're godly proud of you and what you're doing. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Looking forward to definitely seeing you again. Wow, this is just an amazing episode. Thank you so much, Prophet. We appreciate you so much. Family, that was Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. You definitely want to connect with him on all social media and all connections when his hometown is in Detroit. Definitely, that is my friend. I really appreciate everything about him. Listen, he has literally changed the scope, definitely on us, understanding how we can truly safely set boundaries for our lives for the year 2024 and beyond, family. So you definitely want to make sure you connect with him moving forward for sure. I appreciate each and every one of you, family, and thank you so much for being here with us on the Confused and Focused Talks with Lekeisha. Definitely make sure you connect with us. Definitely, family, we definitely have an amazing special offer. Definitely connect with the amazing conference that I'm going to be having called the Love Again Masterclass, Unlocking Self-Love, for us to really break away from all those toxic issues in our past, and definitely for us to continue to build and move forward in a positive mindset, family. And ours, that's going to be on April 27th through May 25th. And definitely that's going to be a 5-week course that's going to be held. Definitely you want to make sure you connect with us. And it's going to be virtual, online. Definitely want to make sure you connect with us moving forward ahead, family. And I appreciate each and every one of you. So that is all we have for today, family. I love each and every one of you. You already know we have our amazing podcast every Thursday evenings at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And definitely we're looking forward to connecting with you moving forward. So listen, definitely make sure you already know to be well. Always know that you're loved. And definitely make sure you subscribe to this channel, family. And you know how we always end the show. And all you do, lead with confidence, understanding, and love always. Be blessed, family. Appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to grab your copy of Confused to Focus Talks with Lekeisha, our book. Definitely make sure you connect with us moving forward ahead. I appreciate each and every one of you. God bless you.